In this video, we're going to show you how to stamp, do some molds, and do some decoupage, and take you along on the adventures of moving into our new space. Earned edge technique as well. Okay, this thing was in a newspaper place where they actually typeset it on it. It's super special. It takes 4 grown people to move it, and I was determined to have it in my new space. And how I talked about triage right there, those are the legs we had to cut off to get it in there. It was so sad. Okay, so we are just taking a scrap board that was already painted blue, and she is putting the new Eden in the DIY paint. All the products we use are in the links description box. Between her project and mine, I am starting with the old and gray. It is our faux stain patina to seal your paint if you want it. We have it in dark and decrepit, and you can also add any of the DIY colors into our clear liquid patina and make any color that you want. So I am just doing the top coat and then the edges, and you can layer this to make it darker in between each coat. A Lazy Susan, you can put feet on it. It can just be a shelf sitter, which is what I'm making right here. Sometimes I purposely beat up the wood so that the dark and decrepit liquid patina or this gray, old and gray, will catch in those grooves, and I just love that look. But you don't have to do that, but it's really vintagey, old looking. So now Caitlin is taking a sheet of a paint inlay, and she already has the top coat dry, and then you put another second coat because the paint inlay has to go down into wet paint. So make sure you have the paint side of the paint inlay, and we missed the back just to kind of open up the pores. You don't have to. And then you lay it down, and she's going to kind of smooth the back with a washcloth, a sponge, a brayer, however you want to do it. Just don't push too hard. And then we let that completely dry. You can do it for hours, weeks, days. We're busting open these stamps that I have never used. They are so good. Again, you can look below to find the link. I mail out really quick, and they have the mask on them, and so we're definitely doing this technique because you can put whatever you want to inside of that stamp cloche. We also have a cloche mold. I have yet to use that as well, but those are really fun. Didn't put the stamp middle part. I removed it because I didn't want the egg and I didn't want the beetle in there. So those are removable, or you can place them back in. We're just using the Iron Orchid ink. It usually takes 24 hours to dry. So you would want to be careful if you're going to top coat this that you don't smear the ink. DIY paint can be used with a brayer. It dries faster as well. You do not want to overwork the top coat, or you can smear it. So look how good this looks. This is so fun, and there's numerous ways to do this. I've seen people put the cloches on, you know, books. It looked like it's stacked on books. It's just endless what you can do. So now what we're doing is we are placing the mask over the image we just stamped, because I want the big stamp that looks like a newspaper. The link will be in the description box. I am getting some fuzzies off that was there from cleaning it with a paper towel. I think I like to clean them with the Lysol. And I'm going to use the Iron Orchid ink in tomato. You can do numerous colors, and then you will see how I put that on. And usually it pulls the mask off with it, but it doesn't matter. You can pick it up and pull it off. And then your image looks like it's behind it or in it instead of all muddled looking. So the masking technique is a game changer. I would highly encourage you to work with that. This is so good, guys. See how that looks so crisp and clean? If you do not do the mask, this will not happen, and you can make your own mask by stamping the image on a piece of paper and rough cutting or really precision cutting around it. So the older ones don't have the mask, all the new ones do. So I have pre-made resin that I always make up, and I just have trays of them, and I can just easily pick. It is easier to paint the molds before you put them on. You can do it after. It's just you can't be too persnickety and not like your colors to blend. So do it either way. I used a wood glue, and a lot of times the resin pours, I feel like, stick easier and better with a hot glue gun, but I didn't have this at this location. I want to show you how cute this looks just on scrap shipping paper, craft paper, whatever you've got. You can do it on material too. Look at that, gorgeous. This is Ocean Blue Iron Orchid ink. I love to do a rough cut. We're gonna burn the edges. I repeat, be careful, because different paper burns quicker. Next is Caitlin's wedding song that she put on her item.
Fire extinguisher here?
I actually think there is. Oh yeah, that's very kind of, because this paper goes fast. That's gonna look good. It's time. Let's mist the back, let it set for a minute, and peel it off. Look how gorgeous that is. And then I just wanted to show you what that would look like on that background. You can do numerous things, but we end up putting it on my tripod stand. You'll see that in a minute.
Yeah, I'll read one. Okay. I want to love you till we're food for the worms to eat.
Smell.
Me too. Okay. You're like, oh, I went up in the bucket truck and hung lights and stuff. What'd you do? And I'll just be like, I burned some paper for YouTube.
I think it's still burning.
Yep, sure was.
Okay, we're putting some liquid patina. You can use the big top as well in the DIY, but the patina is a little thicker and it is my favorite decoupage medium. And I told you I can't waste the scrap, so we're just gonna go ahead and put it on here just because it's cute. And then I stenciled right over here. Pretty soon it'll just be covered with extras. The paint inlay was not sealed yet, so don't overbrush or you will mar and mess up the paint image. You gotta do a light one cover stroke. She wanted an age look, so we put clear wax on first, and then she put the dark wax on and then just kind of wiped it back. And then we will seal the whole thing with some liquid patina. Right here, I'm gonna show you how to do the resin pour. I love Amazing 10-minute resin. It is a white finish. You can get the 24-hour dries clear. And you gotta not mix too big of a batch or you'll waste it because it sets up so fast. These have measuring on it that you can add up and get the exact measurements. We did overestimate a little bit, and that's fine. It doesn't matter if it overlaps. It just peels and breaks off, and it's really good. This is an exact measurement or it will not set up and harden. You can put a mold release under it, but I've never done that, never had any problems. Here is the ribbon mold, and you can add the ribbon as long or as round as you want, or make some glasses with it to show your blue eyes. So we painted the bow in a little black dress, and we hadn't sealed it, but we're gonna put a little golden ticket over the top, and it really looks good. And then I was jealous and had to do a little bit of mine. As you've seen at the very front of the video, I did the edges a little bit. So she's gonna work on her edges a little bit to kind of blend out where the paint inlay wasn't long enough. And here is my finished image, and it was really fun. Here is what we finished off the day with. We put the cash wrap there with the poles up there. Lots left to do, but stay posted if you want to see the end. Kissing booth is on the wall behind us, by the way. This is my view before we took that fabulous counter, see? And I'm gonna reset that up. Just this is going to be on the cash wrap instead of that table we were working on today. See you next week. We release a video once a week.